So Andrew Whalen on Player.one writes or asks Eric Nelson this question: the representatives of the conspiracy angle are these two pretty clownish citizen investigators that you dismiss early in the movie, instead letting the accumulation of evidence point to Crowley's responsibility for the death of his wife and daughter. Okay, so first we gotta ask, where does this guy get this idea that we're pretty clownish citizen investigators based on the way that we're portrayed in the documentary? I mean, that's a pretty dumb thing for this guy to say when obviously he has not looked at anything that we've been investigating if he's going to say that we're representatives of a conspiracy angle. What conspiracy angle is that? They never make it known because they know that we've said multiple times, many times, that we're not talking about a government hit. We're not saying that David Crowley isn't guilty. We're just asking these questions that all these people should be asking, the questions that I hope that this documentary would have asked that apparently doesn't. And Eric Nelson makes it clear. He says, I didn't try to present them as clownish or dismiss them. But he barely puts us in there, and he doesn't really, from what I can tell, he doesn't address a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. It does make me wonder why he really wanted us in there, what he was looking for. The purpose of this film is not to prove one way or the other David Crowley is guilty or not, because they can't. But if you watch this film, I'm sure, without having seen it, I haven't seen it, but I can almost guarantee you that's where it's all leading to. It's all leading to all these people that think that he's guilty. Then they try to throw me and Dan in there like we think that he's not. No. That's not the case, okay? But the fact is, nobody can prove that David Crowley is guilty. It's not about a conspiracy culture and all these trigger words, all these weird words that are just meant to just turn people off so they don't look at the real facts that are going on. People are smarter than that, all right? I give people a lot more credit than that. I think people will be able to look at this movie, and I do believe it will raise more questions, which is a good thing. That's what it should do. This guy calling us clownish, that I do take personally, because how are we just going to say that? How are we going to say that we're clownish? Have you looked at any of the stuff that we've written? Have you watched any of the videos that we've made? Are you interested in looking at some of the things that we're talking about? Or are you just going to throw us into this conspiracy culture and throw us into this, clownish group who all think that the government killed David, when obviously that's not what we're talking about here? And Eric Nelson makes it clear that he is not promoting a pact theory. He does not believe that there was some type of a pact between David and his wife to kill their daughter and take her with them when they died, when they killed themselves. Which is, to me, has always been a good thing to question, a good thing to look at. Are the people that do believe that, or the people that want to believe that? You can want to believe whatever you want, but that theory is probably just as crazy as any of the other theories out there. Which is why I'm not developing any theories. I don't need to develop a theory. I don't need to worry about my credibility. My credibility means nothing to me. It's just about truth. It's just about getting to what the truth is. The people that are worried about their credibility are generally people that have none. And it hurts them so much to think that they might not have any, because they already know that they don't. So all these people that are throwing around this quote and kind of twisting it, that I don't care about my credibility, which is true, I don't, because I'm not worried about it. Okay, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't make a difference of whether I'm going to get to the truth or not. These are data. This is collecting data, and you can collect data from a person who's credible, and you can collect data from a person who is not credible. All right? Eric Nelson says he thinks that the film frustrates some people because they want answers, and they want to know. And he said, I deliberately didn't want to give them answers, which is good, as long as it comes off like that. And one of the things that I'm wondering about, well, are you providing the answer to say that no, there wasn't a government conspiracy involved, there wasn't any foul play involved? Do you leave that question open, or do you just gloss over that? Is that just something, we're just not going to think about that? Every time it goes back to that, in several of these Q&As, Eric Nelson goes back to this ninja theory. These ninjas blew up the the World Trade Center, and then, oh, I don't believe that any ninjas went into David's house and killed him. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you even say that? Why would you say something so stupid like that, and that we think he's part of the CIA and this or that? It's like, dude, just relax. Just chill out, all right? Quit lumping people into a category when you know better. You're smarter than that. You're a lot smarter than that. So don't try to play these stupid little games like you're some victim and people are coming after you and attacking you and this and that. People are checking what you say, and those facts better speak for themselves. And if they don't, you're going to get called out on it. And that's it. I think one of the more interesting things to me is when they start talking about how Danny Mason and David Crowley both believed in the occult. Now, it doesn't really go into how much or what side. Do you believe in the occult from a Christian view? Do you believe in the occult from an occultist view? Whatever. But again, these are more labels, very general. The paranormal, these are very general things. This is a weird one when we're talking about the blood on the wall written in the Crowley house. And Eric Nelson is asked about this. And he says, what's your preferred explanation for why Crowley wrote Allahu Akbar on the wall? Are you ready for this answer? It's pretty freaking weird to me. Eric Nelson says, I personally feel he was honoring and acknowledging Kamel's faith, and as part of his ritual, wanted to cross the T's and dot the I's, and he felt that the appropriate gesture as part of this strange ritual he was unfolding. It was a completely sincere attempt to treat his wife's faith seriously, but that's my opinion. I don't understand that. That's just my opinion. I don't understand how writing Allahu Akbar after you've murdered somebody, how that is going to honor them or honor their faith. This guy, I don't know. I guess lastly, I felt like there was no need to call me a clown or call us clowns or clownish. I felt like there was no need for that. That was a purposeful jab. That aligned with the fact that we're some representatives of a conspiracy culture or a conspiracy. Those are just lies. So you have an exaggeration and then lies, all mixed in there. And it looks like Eric Nelson this time did not take that bait, which is good, because it is not about us. It is about truth. It is not about the credibility of Eric Nelson. It is not about the credibility of me. It is about the credibility of what the police say based on facts. That is truth. You are not going to get that by thinking, well, Ben Swann said this or Alex Jones said that, so it must be true or it must be fake. I don't worry about their credibility either. I don't worry about Eric Nelson's credibility. I'm just simply focused on the data, collecting the data, going where the truth leads. That's where the credibility quote came from. That was the point that I made to Sean Wright. That was the point that I'll make to anybody that asks me. So I just hope that they would put that quote in the proper context, which is fine. If they choose not to, they're free to do that. They can say whatever they want to say. That's fine. But people know. And truth lives on. Lies don't. Lies will fade away. So if you keep telling lies, and if you keep telling exaggerations, if you keep doing this, people are going to see right through it. So you probably want to stop.